So now that you have DaVinci Resolve installed, let's open it. So open up DaVinci Resolve. It should appear on your desktop somewhere as DaVinci Resolve. So then double click it. So when you double click on DaVinci Resolve, it'll show you an image that says DaVinci Resolve. And then this window will pop up. This is called the Project Manager. This is where you manage all of your files and projects in DaVinci Resolve. So in this window, let's say I wanted to create a new folder to organize things. So let's say I wanted to name it Video Pull-Up and click Create. Now double click on your new folder and say New Project and name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it Day 1. This will cause this window to pop up. It might look complicated, but it isn't that complicated. So in DaVinci Resolve, the bottom area are different tabs where you can edit videos in different ways. So this first tab here, right? This is called the Media Pool tab. You can navigate to different tabs on the bottom of the screen. So this tab is the Media Pool. This is where you put in your files that you want to use in your video. This second tab is called the Cut tab. It's really fast if you want to cut up a video. This third tab is called Edit. This is where you do most of your editing of the video and where you can add in effects like that. Whoa. This fourth tab is called Fusion. This is where you can do more complex effects that you might not be able to do in the other tabs. The fifth tab is the Color tab. This is where you do color grading, and I don't use it very often. The sixth tab is the Fairlight tab, which is where you edit your audio. I also don't use this one often, but I might need to use it. But you might need to use it in the future. And the final tab is the Deliver tab. This tab is where you finalize your video and render it, which makes it into a video you can share and upload to different pages. So let's get started. These tabs are ordered in a way that they're basically in the order that you should edit your video in. So the first step is the media pool. Here in the media pool, you can add in your own videos. So let's say I wanted to go add a new video. I don't know where I put the video, but okay. So here's the video. So to add a video, you can just drag and drop a file into this area. This is the media pool area. But up here, you can also navigate your files to figure out what you want to add. Then just drag the file into this area, the media pool. If it says to change the project frame rate, just click change. So now you've added a file to your media pool. So I have my file here.
Hand wave.
So now you should go to the third tab, Edit. We can skip over the second tab for now. So Edit is basically where you're going to start your editing process. So up in the top left corner here, right, you can see your files that you put into the media pool earlier. Now take it and drag it to this area in the bottom right. This is called the timeline. This is where you can see how your video is going to play. So now you can see that I have hand.mov playing in my video.
Hand wave.
So now I have that. Now let's say I wanted to cut out part of my video. Let's say it was too long. This can be done easily in the cut page. As I said before, this is specially designed to help you cut your video up faster. So here you can see, I can play my video.
Hand wave. Anyway, please cut this part out.
So I wanted to cut this area out when I was filming this.
Anyway, please cut this part out.
So to cut your video, you're going to use a hotkey. It is Control \. This will cut your video into 2 different clips. You can also edit it in the under timeline and then split clips, but it is a lot faster to remember the hotkeys. So Control and then this /, not the other /. So now you can see that these have a split.
Anyway, please cut this part.
So if you want to cut a part out, you just have to cut where you want the beginning of the part that you want to cut.
Anyway, please cut this part out.
And then you have to go.
Okay, continue.
And then you have to go to the area that you want to end. The area you want to end the area that you want to show next after you cut it out. So then I'm going to cut it. So as you can see here, I have one part that I want to show, one part that I want to cut out, and then one part that I want to show again. The cut page makes it easier to edit it. So just click on the area you want to cut out and click delete on your keyboard. So basically what I did, I took my long clip, I cut it into 3 different pieces by cutting it twice with the hotkey, and then I cut out the part that I didn't want to add. So now I have this video.
Hand wave. Hand shake. Bye.
Instead of a longer video that needed to be cut. But another thing you can do with DaVinci Resolve, let's say you wanted to transition between the 2 parts that you cut. So as you can see here, in between the part where I'm waving my hand and I'm shaking my hand, it just instantly cuts.
Hand shake.
And just instantly teleports like that. So let's say you wanted it to look prettier. So in this bottom left area, you can see that there's a bunch of different options. This is called your toolbox. So to transition between this, I would click on video transitions. These are transitions to transition through the video, rather than audio transitions, which transition audio. So here under video transitions, you can choose whatever transition you want. So let's say I wanted my transition to be a pentagon. Then I would just drag this onto the timeline and put it and make this square right here, that is your transition. So make sure that it is overlapping on both of your clips. So now the video looks something like this.
Hand wave. Hand shake.
As you can see, the transition now looks like a pentagon. Whoa. Oh, and one more thing you can do. Let's say I wanted my my clip to move more. Let's say I wanted to zoom in. So on this top right area, this is the inspector. Here you can edit different properties of the video. For example, if I wanted to make the video zoom in, I would just have to go to zoom and then change its number. Let's say I wanted to zoom in 2. Boom. So now the video looks like this.
Hand wave. Hand shake. Bye.
So whenever you're using the inspector, whichever clip is red is the one that you're editing. So let's say I wanted the clip on the right, the one where I handshake, to spin. Let's say I wanted it to spin. So we can do that using keyframes. The keyframes allow you to edit your video so that motion occurs. So the computer will figure out how it should move in between your keyframes to make it look smooth. So let's say here, the move the selector to, let's say, right here. It doesn't really matter where you put it. So to add a keyframe, you just need to click this diamond and it'll turn red. When it's red, that means you have a keyframe there. Now go to a different part of the video, let's say right here, and then click the diamond again and change it however you want. So now my video looks like this.
Handshake. Bye.
So now that clip spins. You can do this with any of these options. So let's say here I wanted to make it a zoom. Let's say I wanted to make the zoom change. So I would go to the other clip, click on it so it's red, click the keyframe button, go
Hand wave.
go anywhere onto move the selector anywhere else on the clip, click the diamond again, and then change how zoomed in it is. And you can add you could add as many keyframes as you want. So let's say right here, I wanted the zoom to be back at 2. So then I would just type in 2 again. So now the keyframes caused it to look like this.
Hand wave. Handshake. Bye.
So now you have your first ever video with DaVinci Resolve. Be sure to save your work frequently so you don't lose it by pushing Control S. You can see that you haven't saved when this area says edited. So now let's say you wanted to share your video with other people. Then you would go to the Deliver tab. Here in the Deliver tab, you can turn your video into a file that you can share or upload to YouTube. So all you need to do, here in the top left area, you can see render settings. You can choose however you want it. I'll just choose YouTube quality. Then name it. Let's say I wanted to name it hand movements. And then click Browse to choose where you want to save it. Let's say I wanted to save it there. Here you can choose other options, like if you wanted to upload your video directly to YouTube, but I think this is fine. So then click Add to Render Queue. Now your video will appear here. When you're ready to render your video, click Render All, and it'll render. Depending on your computer, this process might take a while, or it might use a lot of power. So as you can see here, my render finished. It says completed in 7 seconds. So now I'm going to close DaVinci Resolve, and then I'll open up my file, my new video, so you guys can see it. Okay. So now you can see that I have my video here. Let's watch it.
Hand wave. Handshake. Bye. Hand wave.
And there you go. You just made your first ever video with DaVinci Resolve. You made it, you learned how to use the media pool, how to cut up a video, and how to transition, and how to make your video move around the screen, and how to render your video.